Hi everyone, in today's video we are going to be talking about what schizophrenia is. Hi everyone and welcome back to the Living Well with Schizophrenia channel. If you're new here, my name is Lauren and I make videos about what it's like to live with schizoaffective disorder or schizophrenia. And if you would like to see more videos like this one, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Also, if you would like to help support the creation of future videos just like this one, please make sure to check out the link to our Patreon page. It's in the description below. On Patreon, we are offering access to our private Discord server where we offer peer support text channels as well as peer support video groups. And it's just a really great environment that we're trying to build. So if that interests you, make sure to check out the link to our Patreon page. Okay, so I think there are a lot of misconceptions about what schizophrenia actually is. And so this video is going to be discussing what schizophrenia actually is, and I'm going to be sharing examples from my own experiences with the illness as well. So schizophrenia is a serious and chronic condition that causes the individual to essentially lose touch with reality. It literally translates to split mind. And a very common misconception is that people with schizophrenia have split personalities, but it is important to note that it is instead a split from reality and not from your personality. Dissociative identity disorder is when a person may experience multiple personalities, and that is a different mental illness from schizophrenia. The DSM-5, or the 5th edition of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, as well as the ICD-10, which is the International Classification of Diseases, states that in order to be diagnosed with schizophrenia, an individual must have two or more of the following. So number one, delusions, and these are essentially false beliefs that a person may have. The second is hallucinations, which is when you perceive stimuli that is not really real. And this can be auditory, visual, olfactory, so sense of smell, tactile, so sense of touch, or taste. And number three is disorganized speech, and this can be word salad or just kind of loose associations that a person may have. And number four is grossly disorganized or catatonic behavior. And number five is negative symptoms, and this is the removal of behaviors, for example, decreased energy or a sense of apathy or that kind of thing. So at least one of these must be delusions, hallucinations, or disorganized speech. So I'm often asked if someone can have schizophrenia and not experience hallucinations, and the answer is that yes, so long as they are experiencing at least delusions or disorganized speech and another of the aforementioned criteria. Symptoms of schizophrenia can be broken into three main categories of positive symptoms, negative symptoms, and cognitive symptoms. We did another video detailing this further, which we will link to. It is also important to discuss the term psychosis when discussing schizophrenia. We did another more in-depth video on what exactly psychosis is, which we will link to as well. But basically, psychosis is when someone loses touch with reality. It is a condition that affects the way an individual processes information in their brain. They might hear, see, or believe things that aren't real, also known as hallucinations and delusions. Psychosis is a symptom of schizophrenia, but it can also be a symptom of other psychiatric illnesses too. Now, the peak age of onset for the first psychotic episode is in the early to mid-20s for males, and it's in the late 20s for females. My personal onset was in my early 20s, and I was diagnosed at the age of 25. Schizophrenia is an illness that requires lifelong treatment, and early intervention can increase the effectiveness of treatment and the possibility of a more positive prognosis. It can be difficult to catch early though, and in my case, I was misdiagnosed for at least 3 years and possibly even longer because my prodromal and even first psychotic episodes were mistaken for first depression and then bipolar disorder. So roughly 1 in 100 people are diagnosed with schizophrenia, so there is a very good chance that you've actually met someone with schizophrenia, possibly without even knowing it. Schizophrenia is an illness that develops as a result of a combination of genetics and environmental factors. We still don't know much about the causes or how exactly it affects the brain from a physiological perspective. Now, for me, there are no known cases of schizophrenia in my family, but I still have it. So genes and environmental factors both play a role in the onset of schizophrenia. It is also very important to note that schizophrenia does not discriminate in terms of who it afflicts. It affects people of all genders, races, economic backgrounds, and education levels equally. Schizophrenia also looks different for each individual. There are some common characteristics, but it can present differently from person to person. And when I'm speaking with other people who have schizophrenia, there is a general level of understanding in terms of shared experiences, but the specifics of our experiences tend to vary. There is no cure for schizophrenia currently, but there are effective treatments. We did a video that we can link to on treatment options for schizophrenia if you'd like to check that one out. But basically, there are antipsychotic medications as well as psychosocial treatments such as individual therapy or group therapy, employing different therapeutic techniques such as cognitive behavioral therapy or things like that. Both, combined with more informal support systems, make it possible for people who are living with schizophrenia to lead productive and meaningful lives even with the illness. Schizophrenia also appears to be somewhat of a spectrum illness, with there being a range between more seemingly mild cases and more severe cases. Some people can have only one psychotic episode, while others may have many episodes over their lifetime. Some people may be able to lead relatively normal lives in between these episodes, while others may have more difficulties functioning over time. Schizophrenia symptoms seem to get worse the more episodes an individual has, which is another reason why early intervention is so important. Something else to touch on with schizophrenia is that so often popular books, movies, and TV shows depict people with schizophrenia as being dangerous and violent. This usually isn't true. Just like any other person, most people with schizophrenia are not violent. Most often, people with schizophrenia are the victims of violence rather than the perpetrators. If a person with schizophrenia does happen to commit a violent act, it is usually a result of their psychosis and the fear that they're being threatened in some way. Drug or alcohol use can also exacerbate this. More often than being a danger to others, people with schizophrenia can be more of a danger to themselves. Suicide is the leading cause of premature death among people with schizophrenia, and it is estimated that 40% of people living with schizophrenia attempt suicide at least once. So if you think that you or someone you love is exhibiting symptoms of schizophrenia, please bring it up with your doctor. They will be able to help guide you with next steps in diagnosis or treatment. All right, so I hope you found this video helpful. Make sure to check out the description below because we are going to link to the videos that I mentioned in this video as well as some more popular videos on this channel. We would love to hear from you too in the comments below. Let us know what your experiences of schizophrenia have been like. And just a reminder again that if you want to see more videos from us, make sure to subscribe to our channel. And also, if you would like to help support the creation of these videos, please check out the link to our Patreon page. Thank you so much again for watching, and as always, wishing you and your loved ones good health. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.